not an easy task. How do I talk about the multiple facets of being a woman under 5 minutes? Impossible. Because nowadays, being a woman is one of the most challenging jobs ever. It's a constant balancing act. It's wearing multiple hats at once. Myself, the most important hat I choose to wear is the mom hat, because I feel that my most important job is to raise kids that will be joyful and responsible citizens of the world. So I dedicate my life to them. But that's not always easy, because they did not come with a handbook. So I question myself a lot. But I remember somebody once told me, a mother's instinct is always right. So ultimately, I do what feels right, even if that means that I'm the only bad cop in the house. Because I don't know about you, but counting my husband, I have 4 kids. It's true. So I'm also a wife. And with that comes part of the responsibility to keep that flame alive so that we never drift apart. So even though I'm often tempted to burden him with those little household details that can drive us women crazy, I try to refrain from that, because I know that nobody, and I mean nobody, likes to hear anyone complaining all the time. Then, I'm also a sister and a friend. I laugh with them and I cry with them. But most importantly, we do not compete. We empower each other. So with the right people by your side, you can face any situation. So I encourage you, choose your circle of friends well, and do yourself a favor. Stay away from negativity and drama. Then, I'm also a business owner. We all know what that means. So unless it's super important, I leave work problems at work. And finally, I am me. So I have to create that me time for me to just be, for me to also refuel, because we cannot give what we don't have. So if we don't take the time to love ourselves, we have nothing, no love to give others. We need that me time. It's also the time that I take to think about my goals, my vision board, so that I can always remember the kind of person I want to remain as I adjust and react to whatever situation life throws at me. Now, this all sounds fairly easy, right? Yeah, that is until life comes in and shakes you at your core. Back in 2015, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. It was difficult. I was a wreck inside. My husband and I were the kind of couple and parents that never ever separated. So having to be treated for cancer meant temporary, and I had to face it, perhaps permanent separation. So I didn't know what to do. I was torn between being a wife and a mother. I sought help. And finally, I took a decision that some people considered crazy and not at all necessary. I took my kids out of school, right in the middle of the school year, because I figured if my husband were to have the best chance of survival, he needed the kind of support that his family could provide. And today, he's a cancer survivor. As for my kids, I chose to prioritize their emotional health rather than their grades. I figured they would catch up later, and they did. So you see, sometimes being a woman means you have to follow your gut against all odds. We may not be able to control what life throws at us, but we do have control over our reactions. You see, our choices, they determine our future. And what we dwell on is what we become. We have to be careful with our thoughts. So I try to make the conscious choice of always being positive. And if it weren't for that, I think I would probably still be devastated and perhaps depressed over what happened on July 6 and 7. Because you see, Antiochik was my baby. I created it. So it was hard. But you know what? You fall down, you get back up. We need to learn to forget the bad and the past and move on. So that's what I did. I moved on. I started again. But this time it's different. Because as I took the time to reassess my life, I realized that hiding behind this disaster was actually a golden opportunity for me to reinvent myself. I still haven't figured it out, but what I know for sure is that I find much more joy in giving than in receiving. I found my flame. As Michelle Obama says, make sure you find your flame and you keep it lit. I believe that the attitude I choose to react in every situation I have faced so far is directly related to my faith and trust in God. I'm a woman of faith. I encourage you, nurture your spiritual life, because when the going gets tough, trust me, this is what keeps you anchored. In December 30th, I went from celebrating my husband's birthday and watching beautiful fireworks to living the most horrible night of my life and seeing blood all over my daughter's face. I didn't know what to do. I started praying and praying. I'm not gonna lie, I was so scared that I passed out, actually twice. And then I prayed again and I prayed again. And you know what? Somehow my daughter had the best case scenario. Her injury was even in the shape of a heart. I call that a miracle. I do believe in miracles, and I do believe in the power of prayer. And I believe that hiding behind every single situation, there is always a blessing in disguise. We just have to look for it. To help you with that, try keeping a gratitude journal. You will find that at first you look for things to be grateful for, and then it will all come naturally. It's actually simple. It's called the law of attraction. You should try it. It definitely works. Now, I'm not trying to say that we women are perfect and that we have it all figured out. No, we're not perfect. We think we're extraordinary. We think sometimes that we can do it all. But we know we're not perfect. We worry a lot. I worry even about my weight, the signs of aging. I cry in the shower. And then I put on a smile and regroup and carry on, because I know that no matter what hat I'm wearing, I have the duty to set an example for my kids and the ones close to me. We women are all role models to somebody out there. We women are extraordinary. And guys, I want you to take the time, actually right now, to tell the woman next to you how much you appreciate all the little things she does with so much love.
Bravo!
Don't you feel proud? Myself, I am so proud to be a woman. because I know that only a woman can be so soft yet so strong. Only a woman can carry herself with such dignity and smile through her tears. And only a woman can face the fears of the unknown with nothing but her faith in God. So I say, thank God for women.